Good morning, everybody. I'm Patty Ann. Welcome to this week's Block of the Week. That's actually going to be a table runner. My mug today is from Sanibel Island. A friend and I went there probably about 10 years ago now. We like to kayak and bird watch. And so we went down to Sanibel Island in Florida and did both of those things and really had a good time. If you've never been to Sanibel Island in Florida, it's gorgeous. Anyway, so that was my mug, but let me show you this. This was from my friend Levan. Isn't that cute? I have my coffee in here today. Little sewing machine. I think that's really cute. Okay, let's get started. Again, welcome to the basement. As you can tell, kind of, a working basement because I have a lot of stuff going on in here. As I said, today I'm going to show you how to make the block, but I'm also going to show you how to set it into a table runner. So let's look down here and check out my table runner. And by the way, if you do like my podcast or this video series, please share it with your friends across the social media because it really is exciting for me to have more viewers. It's a lot of fun. Also, you might want to join us the next time we get together and have a live sew-in session where you can turn your camera on your laptop or your phone or your desktop if you want, and we can all see each other and talk as we sew together. Or you can have your camera turned off and you can just see us and everybody else that's in the room. Matter of fact, this table runner right here I had done with a group of people live probably about a week ago now. But anyway, let's look down here and see what I'm talking about. Here's the table runner. Let me turn on a light so maybe the shadows are a little bit better so you can see it a little bit more clearly. This is the table runner, and as you can see, it's just made out of squares and half square triangles. Easy peasy. I have instructions for it that if you click on the link below, wherever below is here, you can get these directions. Now, you've probably seen a table runner almost exactly like this. The thing that's a little bit different about mine, or what I designed here, was so that I could use charm packs for mine. Hope that wire's not too distracting. Anyway, so what you need to do to make this table runner, and this size is perfect for me. My friend Jessie that made this one, she wants to make hers a little bit longer next time because she has a longer table. This one is about 17 inches by about 33 inches finished. To make one exactly this size, according to the directions, you're going to cut out 20 outer blocks. These are the blocks around the perimeter, okay, that go all the way around it, 20 of them. And then you're going to cut light and dark or light and printed fabrics to make the half square triangles. You're going to need squares. You're going to need 6 white squares and 6 of your printed or dark ones to make these half square triangles that are in the center. Okay, so this is what it's supposed to kind of look like right here. And my original plan was that this part right here in the center would be patterned, but I made a mistake when I did mine. Even though I had the darn thing pinned together, I still sewed it together incorrectly. But it turned out to be a good thing for me because I ended up with this really nice white square in the center. And I found that I had a beautiful embroidery that I could put here from Anita Good Design. Once a week they have that $5 deal where you can get a bunch of embroidery designs for $5, and this was one of them that they had, and I thought it really turned out nicely. I do want to show you though, if you are an embroiderer, perhaps you can notice something a little bit weird about this one. Let's see if I have my pencil. Where's my pencil? There it is, right here. Okay, look at this. This is all bean stitch, and look how nice and thick the bean stitch is. Then suddenly you get to this part right here and you'll notice that it's thinner. And I did run it, what's that? Oh, that's my mouse dot. I did run it off, I did make it run stitch in my Floriani software so I could see, and it looked kind of like this was a 7-step bean stitch and maybe this was a 3. I'm not exactly sure what they've done different, but something's weird because look, you can really tell on the back. See how thick all of this is, and then that is really thin there. But you know, I'm not too worried about it because I really think that the table runner still looks gorgeous, and I have a really pretty vase upstairs on the table I'm going to have this on. It's kind of a teal color, and I really like how it looks with this because I love oranges and teals together. And then it has some fake reeds or something in there that are sort of orangey, and it's really pretty. So let me show you how to do the half square triangles in the blocks in case you're not sure. As I said, my pattern has you use this pattern right here has you use charm pack. So you know what's great about the charm packs is that you get so many different varieties of patterns. Like look, all in one section or one pack, and you don't have a lot of waste going on there. So let me get back to what I wanted to show you. Okay, here we go. So according to the instructions here, you're going to take a charm square, and you're going to cut 20 of these for the outside perimeter, and they're going to measure 4.5 by 4.5. So don't forget, now you are going to be wasting just a hair bit of your charm pack, but I really don't feel it's that much of an issue because of how convenient it is to have the charm packs and getting all those different fabrics. So since I'm going to cut 20 of these, what I had done when I did it originally was I just took my painter's tape and tore off a piece and put it at the 4.5-inch mark. And again at the 4.5-inch mark. I have to do little tips like this for myself because even though I try to be really careful, sometimes I have errors. So, but this makes it easy, so I can just bring this right up here and get it lined up easily to start with, and then fine tune my lining and then just cut. So cut like that, and then a lot of times I like to go back like that, don't pick it up, and then cut this way. So you can see I'm not wasting that much of that charm square, just that much on 20 of them. So again, I will cut 20 of these. It'll be 4.5 by 4.5 for the outer perimeter. Now to do these half square triangles, recall how that rule goes. To do a half square triangle, you need to figure out what is your final size of your block going to be. And in this case, these blocks are all going to be 4 inches square. So I'm going to cut squares that are 4 inches plus 7/8. The rule is for half square triangles, figure out the finished size, 4, and add 7/8. So 4 and 7/8. If my finished size was going to be 5, I would add 7/8. So I would cut this block at 5 and 7/8. If it was going to be 6, obviously I would cut my squares, my 2 squares that are going to go together to become the half square triangles, at 6 and 7/8 and 6 and 7/8. So the largest I can cut is 4 and 7/8 of these, and that's exactly what I need. So I will cut them down to, well, let's just do that right here. Take a white one. I'll have to take off these tapes because that was my 4.5-inch mark. And I'm going to cut this at 4 and 7/8. Now you'll notice this is going to waste very, very little bit of this charm square. So the 7/8 mark is the one right before the 5-inch mark. 4 and 7/8. It's the mark right before it. So I cut off this, and basically what I'm doing is just kind of cutting off the pinked edges for these. So there's one. Okay, that's all the waste there is. Okay, and here's the other one. 4 and 7/8 by 4 and 7/8. There we go. Whoopsie, I moved it. Keep sliding it. There we go. Okay, 4 7/8 by 4 7/8. Now recall, to make the half square triangles, all you need to do is take your one square, put it pretty side up or right side up, take your other square and have it right side facing down. In this case, there really is no right or wrong side. So I'm going to put this face down on top of this, and then I'm going to take my ruler and just draw a diagonal line with my pencil from corner to corner. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this over to the machine, and I would sew a 1/4 of an inch away from my marked line on this side and a 1/4 of an inch away from my marked line on this side. Okay, I had to set out over here. Here we go. So let's pretend that I just sewed these. I cut the dog ear off of these, some of these. But imagine that this was my drawn line right here. Then I sewed a 1/4 of an inch on this side and a 1/4 of an inch on that side. And then I just rotary cut on that line that I had drawn. And then when you open them up, you have 2 perfect half square triangles. So that's it. According to the instructions, you will need, and again, you can download these, 6 light or white squares and 6 dark or patterned or print fabrics, and you'll cut them 4 7/8 by 4 7/8, and that will make all of the half square triangles that you need in this section. And you can place them in any order that you'd like. Again, I even had mine pinned together, and somehow I still messed up, but I think it turned out quite nicely for me because I really like the pattern that I was able to put in the center here. I was able to, well, what I did was I had to take the pattern that they had and I had to resize it down a little bit. I did that in my Floriani software, but I'm sure if you have an embroidery machine, you can probably resize the pattern in your embroidery machine. For stabilizer, I use something called Battleizer. That's this batting-ish right here. I actually have purchased it in a roll, getting low on my roll, but this is what it is. It's Battleizer by Hoop Sisters. And you see over here they say it's batting. No, it's stabilizer. No, it's Battleizer. So it's batting and stabilizer all rolled up into one product. But I didn't just use the Battleizer. I did also use some tearaway stabilizer. Look at that thing of tearaway stabilizer I have. Somebody was going out of the embroidery business and she was selling this. So boy, I have a lot. But remember, it's just lights. Whoopsie. It's just tearaway stabilizer, which I'd used on the back in my hoop. See if I can see if there are any left. Well, you probably can't see it from there, but there is still some tearaway stabilizer in here. So the next thing I'm going to do is, I'm going to use this as my backing. Isn't that pretty? I think that'd be beautiful. I just have to think now, how do I want to quilt this? If you have any suggestions, boy, I'd sure appreciate it if you'd put them in the notes below or comments below or email me or something, because I'm not exactly sure what in the world I'm going to do on this. Also, another thing I'm wondering about is, do I want to have a binding, or do I want to just do like the envelope thing where I sew these, right sides together, sew along the edge, right sides together, and leave a little opening and then just flip it. So I'm just not sure yet. But anyway, so the block of this week is actually a table runner of the week. You can put these any way that you'd like. If you're enjoying these videos, I hope that you'll give them a thumbs up and maybe share them across the social media with your friends. Also, make sure that you're thinking about joining us for our next live session. It's a lot of fun. You can see each other while we sew together. It's pretty cool. So thanks again for joining me. Bye-bye.